Hello, I'm Suzie.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are the founders of the global award-winning Showband
Aston Band.
We are a husband and wife team, and we thought it might be nice for you guys to get to know us a little better.
We hope you enjoy.
Hello, and welcome to the Aston podcast. This is the first of hopefully a series of podcasts.
Season one.
Season one.
Pilot episode.
Oh, he's a pro with these podcasts, aren't you? You listen to them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get any work done. But we did come up with some cool and quirky names, didn't we, Ryan? Then we've stuck with Aston podcast, very original, very, very exciting and unique. But we had a problem, you see, because as you may have just heard, Ryan is very Welsh.
Yes. One thing I'm worried about podcasting is the accent, obviously. I mean, I could put subtitles on the video.
I think you might need to, actually, Ryan. But he was going for Aston
Casting.
But I was like, no, well, we can't do that because I say Aston casting.
Aston Casting. I mean,
So
it's written in the stars.
it's an accent thing why we can't do it. So anyway, I'm Suzie. This is Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
And we thought we would just do this, give it a whirl, because someone asked us to put a voice note, I suppose, on our About page so that you could put a voice to the names, I suppose. And then we thought, well, why don't we try and do a little podcast? So here we are.
Here we are. I mean, podcasting's all the rage, Suze. I mean, we're video casting.
Oh.
So this is next
Oh
level.
my God.
Yeah.
You love a podcast, don't you? I love a podcast too, normally about murders, but hey, this one's going to be more fun than murder.
What are you plotting, Suze?
Well, that's another story for another time, isn't it? We'll tell you that one day soon. I'm not going to murder him. Sometimes I feel like it though, don't I, Ryan? So we can actually treat this as sort of like marriage counselling also, because we're a husband and wife team.
The problem is with that, I think we can only record for 30 minutes.
Right, okay.
So,
thing is though, we don't often get a chance to sit like this, do we, and have an actual chat and communicate as adults.
how are you, by the way?
I'm great, right?
Good.
Thanks. But yeah, so a bit more about us. We started the band, about 13 years ago, was it?
Seems like much longer, but yeah, I think about 13 years
Yeah,
ago.
and we've just been reflecting lately on how it came about and what we have to offer people.
How far we've come.
That's it, how we've evolved organically. I love that, do you?
Not really.
Organically evolved. But we have. So we were talking about our backgrounds and how it came to be that we're in this position with our band that we love and treasure. And actually we figured out that between us, don't want to show our age here, but it's inevitable, especially with that video, we've got about 50 years collective experience between us, haven't we? So
Yeah, leaning more on me, really.
mostly
I mean, yeah. Combined. 50.
Well, I don't know, I'm getting there. So Rye, tell us how. Oh, I've just realised the dog's here as well. We've got Rufus, the doofus with us.
He blends into the background though. Look
I
at
don't
him.
know if you can see him on the
Like a
video,
little
but
pillow.
we'll keep him quiet. How did you begin your career Ryan's a drummer, by the way. How did you begin your career as a drummer?
Is that what we're doing? Careers?
Well, I don't know. It's a good place to start as any, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know if this is interesting for
Anybody in the world.
Anybody ever.
No one will probably listen anyway. Don't
I
worry
know,
about it.
yeah,
We're
just
chatting.
chill. Yeah, just having a chat. I mean, I started at a pretty tender age. My daddy is a musician.
Daddy.
So yeah, I was kind of always been around it. Started young. Was out doing the club circuit. We live in Wales, so there's a big social club, workman's club. What's the word?
Culture.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm good at this, aren't I?
Yeah, I used to go and do gigs with my dad. My dad on guitar, me on drums. We used to do the workman's clubs in the valleys of Wales. And yeah, that's how I started,
Now,
really. That's how I cut my teeth.
If you can cut your teeth and hold your own in that scenario.
Oh, you want to talk about stories? I've got some stories. Not for this podcast, though. Maybe another time.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? Like those experiences, like working under those circumstances, which is a little rough around the edges, to say the least.
I should smile, yeah.
And all that experience that you've gained from being, how old were you? Whippersnapper.
Started gigging probably 15, 16, probably a bit earlier than that.
Shall we discuss how old you are now? No, let's leave that.
I just don't think there's any need.
OAP.
Nah, pointless.
But those experiences, when we come to do our lovely gigs, then they feel like a breeze because they are compared to.
We are talking worlds apart. I mean, I'm having flashbacks of it now, really.
And can you tell us what your daddy's called, Ryan?
Keith.
Well, yeah, he's called Keith, but Pasty, isn't he?
Pasty, yeah, that's his nickname.
So if any of you follow up Ryan on Instagram and you wonder why he's called Pasty's Boy, it's not because he likes eating
it's just because
pasties.
I was a musician, so I'd meet other musicians that my dad knew, and then when they knew I was, coming through as a little whippersnapper, a little
making
rookie,
waves.
Yeah, they'd all be like, "You're Pasty's boy, aren't you?" And so that's just stuck. It's Pasty's boy.
People often say that. Why is he called Pasty's Boy? And they expect you to be a little chubber. He's hanging in there though.
Because I love a pasty. Yeah, but it's just a different world now, what we do. But I do think a lot of the skills that I acquired during those formative years are still applicable today. That level of professionalism. If there's one thing I will say about that circuit, it is ruthless. Just the people that frequent those establishments have seen it all. They've seen every kind of act, the good, the bad, and they will let you know if you're not part of the good part. Honestly, I mean, we've even done some club dates when we first started. We did
very first started the band,
13 years ago. We just tested the water.
Yeah, I don't think they were quite ready for the modern tunes,
the glitz and the
glamour, the feathers, the sequins.
I mean, am I dressed all right, Suze? Because you look beautiful and all dolled up.
Thanks.
And I just feel like I should be, I don't know, like feathers.
The sparkly jacket.
Yeah.
No, I'll let you off today.
Okay, thanks.
The boys love those jackets, don't they? They love it when I rock up with sequins and feathers for them. But yeah, that I don't want to make you have a big head, but Ryan kind of is the rock of the band, and if ever, I mean, touch wood, nothing's ever gone that wrong, but if anything ever goes slightly sideways, we all trust that you've got it in the bag.
No pressure. But you do, though, most of the time, don't you? Well, pretty good when it comes to high pressure situations. I think, there's not many eventualities that haven't happened previously. So when things do go wrong, you at least, most things are sortable.
Fixable.
I would say fixable, yes.
Which is very important.
Yeah.
For these kind of events that we do. So my...
hang on, Suze.
Go on.
Suze, what's your background?
Oh, I was just going to go. You didn't even have to intro that, right?
I'm like, I know it is.
Okay, guys. So about me. No. Well, I actually forgot about this, and someone mentioned it the other day. I suppose I sort of started my professional career, even though I didn't get paid for it, so it's not really professional, is it? I did Pop Idol. Who remembers that?
Me.
Back in the day.
Me.
And
have I ever told you that, because there is a video of Susie's, I want to say final audition. It's the one where you got knocked out, isn't it?
Cool,
I think
man.
it is. Is the Whitney Houston one?
Yeah, where I got kicked out.
But anyway, that's floating around on YouTube. I'll put a link in the show notes.
Is it actually?
No, I don't know. No, but I've seen it. I think maybe your dad showed me. But when I watched it, I remembered watching it the first time.
Oh, I bet you did.
Yeah, I was like, who's this chancer?
Oh, love at first sight, was it, Ryan?
Well, maybe,
sure.
Maybe.
But yeah, so I suppose, Pop Idol was the way I
mean, for international, does that carry across?
I don't know. So for anyone of our international clients or friends that are listening, Pop Idol, I suppose, yeah, like there's X Factor nowadays, isn't there? We have Britain's Got Talent here. There must be like
This was like the genesis of that. I mean, there's been
the
shows
start
before,
of it, yeah.
but yeah.
And I think it was the second year it was aired, or they did like a Pop Stars one and then the Pop Idol. Anyway, I didn't get through, but that's by the by. But then after that, I went for an audition for Grease, the musical.
Here we go. Have you done Grease, Suze?
Guess mine, isn't it what? So Grease, I went for an audition for the cover of Sandy, and I was 19 at the time, innocently going to the audition.
Fearless, though, I bet.
Fearless, because you are when you're young, aren't you?
I can remember.
Fearless,
I can remember it,
and just walked into the audition. And although I had trained, I hadn't gone to one of the London theatre schools. So I suppose all of those crowd were quite similar to one another. And I went in and I probably sang a little bit differently and probably was a little bit more innocent because I had nothing to prove. Naivety or whatever you want to call it, and then I got offered the role of Sandy in Greece. And bearing in mind, let's talk about crushes here. You obviously had a crush on me when you saw me on the Pop Idol videos.
Obviously.
I had a major crush on John Travolta in Greece.
Similar.
Very, yeah. I've obviously got a type.
Yeah.
It's the
dark, kind of Italian-esque.
Tall, dark.
Yeah.
And
Mediterranean.
Okay. Yeah, sure. White Viking.
Yeah.
Very, very
pale blue
Viking. So, yeah, did that. And then that was pretty good way to gain some experience.
I haven't really spoken to. Was that your first like proper gig?
First.
Or did you just go from doing...
Zero to hero?
Yeah, I mean, was it just like...
it was... yeah, it was thrown in at the
deep end. Do you think
end.
that you really understood what it was, the opportunity you were given?
No, absolutely not. I think I was 19. I was getting paid really well and got gifted the part, really, and what that I wasn't expecting. So I don't think I truly appreciated at the time how amazing it was. I mean, I loved every second of it. But now I look back and I'm like, wow. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I mean, that's like a dream gig for many folk. Yeah, to go in and do something like that is bonkers. Really. How long did you do it for?
A year. That was a year. And then I did some other West End shows. So that's what my background is really. West End. Even though that was never really the path that I wanted to take, because I loved pop singing.
So what was the path? What would you have...
Well, I don't know. I wanted to be a pop star. Basically,
right. Didn't we all?
Hence, going on Pop Idol.
Can you imagine had you won that? How different your life would be. You'd have such a better life.
I love our life.
I am, of course, jesting.
Yeah, of course he is. But I feel like a pop star when we do our gigs. That's what, like, I'm living my dream through Aston Band.
We used to live in a place called Skewin, and Suze would call herself Skew on Sea.
Did I?
Yeah.
There's been a few other ones. Do you remember Spewonce? That's when I drank too much, but that's another story as well for another time when you get to know us a little better.
What I will say, Suze, is that you had one job. I've set everything up here. The mics. I mean, I built this.
Sure, yeah.
I put these together. The camera. I've done it. Your one job was to set a timer.
No, I did set the timer, but the timer's gone off. It's gone to a black screen, so...
Oh, man.
No idea what we're rambling on about here.
Okay, so where were we, Suze?
Well, we were just arguing about you changing my display preferences on my phone, actually, but he's pretending he didn't do it, but he did, because...
Did not do it.
Anyway.
So, after you did Grease, I mean, so you did that for a year?
Yeah.
And did you go straight into another show, or did you go... What? I mean, because I have to confess, I don't really know myself.
Well, no, it was a lot of after that, when I was doing auditions then, I didn't feel so fearless. I felt a huge pressure going into auditions.
Do you want to talk about that? Now that you're on the couch?
Oh, God. Well, yeah, I guess so much more is expected of you once you've played a role like that you're not going into auditions being fearless and just having a nice time. People expect you to be a certain way, and I definitely went through a little period of not enjoying going to audition. Auditions aren't really nice anyway.
I mean, when we first got together, you were auditioning a lot, and I was always pretty blown away by your attitude towards that world.
I mean, you do get a thick skin.
Yeah, you were just fearless. You just go in, not get the job, and just come out. It wouldn't bother you.
I don't think it can bother you when you're auditioning like that. You just have to get on with it, and that's part of the game, isn't it? But this leads us nicely onto this next topic, I suppose. So one of the reasons that we put the band together was I was auditioning loads, waiting for the phone to ring or whatever, and it's horrible.
Yeah, I was touring a lot.
You were touring a lot. We were doing separate things.
Quite full on, away for long periods. We were literally like passing ships in the night. I don't know if this is of any interest to anyone, but I mean, that really was the catalyst.
Yeah. And so we decided to put something together for ourselves so I could pretend to be a pop star and live my dreams and sing the things that I wanted to sing. Not that it's all about, but I want to do. I sound like Farouk Assault, don't I? Sing everything I want to sing.
Never noticed that.
Yeah, I sort of am. But it was just nice to create something that was ours. And
can you remember the first gig that we did that you could consider ours? Do you remember what it was? Because it wasn't this. It was something else.
No.
Do you not?
What was it?
It was a Grease show, love.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember?
Yes, yeah, I do remember now. Yeah, we did a Grease tribute thing, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And then we were like, oh.
Yeah, it was good.
That was fun.
It was fun. Never did it again.
Never did it again.
No, never.
Didn't need to because we had the band.
Yeah. Yeah, but so after Grease, did you actually go into anything after that then? Let's talk about that.
I did Blood Brothers then for quite a
which
long time,
I never
didn't
saw
I?
you do, which I was gutted because you did do it a couple of times while we were together.
Yeah.
But I think it was doing
You didn't
times.
see it once, did you?
No, never.
I mean, that's awful, isn't it, guys?
I know.
Horrible.
Rave reviews as well.
But well, that was a funny audition because I'm actually from Liverpool.
Would everyone? Is that like an automatic? Everyone knows what Blood Brothers is.
I mean, we can't cover every base, can we?
No, I suppose.
Anyway, Blood Brothers is another show in the West End, not as famous as Grease, possibly because there was a movie of Grease, but Blood Brothers was one of the longest running theatre shows in the West End. I think it was like, I don't want to say like 25 years. It's probably wrong, but really famous show in the West End if you're into that kind of thing. And it's based on a story of twins that get separated at birth and they're from Liverpool. So I am actually from Liverpool, believe it or not. This Watford accent doesn't sound very Scouse, does it? But my family all live in Liverpool.
I think actually that might be your cue to do some Scouse.
I only do sweary Scouse these days, so that's a no. No. All right, lad. So yeah, Scouse is in my blood. And so I walked into the audition with this voice, and then they were like, can you read the part of Linda, who's the
in
girlfriend?
Scouse, which is the accent.
And then I was like,
easy.
Into Scouse. They were probably like, oh my God, she's an amazing actress. But it was just because all my family are Scousers. Yeah. And even growing up, this is weird actually, I don't even know why I'm saying this. We moved to Watford when I was about 4 or 5, and I remember being at like the nursery school or preschool or whatever you do before you go to year 1 or reception or whatever, and someone saying, you speak funny. So then I consciously changed my accent to copy them, the Watford girls, and at home I would always be Scouse, and if we ever went to Liverpool I would still be Scouse. And still our little boy actually is doing that at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. So yes, I mean Susie's parents live next door. They're from Liverpool. So if my son spends any time with them, by the time we see him again, he's turned into a Scouser. Full
Scouser. Well, he's obsessed with Liverpool Football Club, isn't he? So that's probably the reason why. So yeah, they must have thought I was a brilliant actress, but actually I was a cheat.
So
but I loved that show.
Blood Brothers for how long?
I think I did it. I think I did a year on tour and a year in the West End.
Back in the West End, God, you used to love it.
Such a little thesp. But yeah, but the reason I love doing Aston Band is because really what I wanted to do was be a pop star, and I can pretend to be a pop star when I'm going to all these fabulous locations
Now
and the
you
stage
dip your
is
toes in the water
yeah,
every weekend.
yeah, that's it, isn't it? And you know, that's really more my style of singing than what you'd typically think of as West End theatre singing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All that while I was out touring, just doing shows, gigs, anything really. I did, of all things, an ABBA tribute show.
Yeah, but it was a pretty
It was a
big
big
deal
one.
at the time,
It was one of the
wasn't
big
it?
ones.
You
Still,
were-
it's still one of the biggest ones.
yeah, it was a world
Shout
tour.
out to ABBA Mania. No, they're called Mania now.
Mania.
Mania.
ABBA
But,
kicked off, didn't they? 'Cause they're too good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a really great gig, and you toured the world and whatever. But you've toured with some sexier things than that, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. I've done a couple of.
Name drop.
I've played with some artists, I suppose. It's not something that I was really big on. I didn't really particularly want to do that, but I did find myself touring with some good artists. Yeah, go on, Suze.
You're always down on yourself.
I'm not down on myself.
Big yourself up, man. Neither of us are very good at that, actually. I'm all about bigging the band up.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, the
But
band's
self-promotion.
awesome. Go on.
No. Well, you know. Should we do the next? So Imelda May, you're Imelda May's drummer
yeah.
currently, aren't you?
Yes.
If anyone doesn't know Imelda May, she's wonderful. She's
unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible
on so many
Irish
levels.
singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Flawless voice.
Yeah, she's
incredible
quite something.
performer. And then some of the boys from the band also do that as well, don't they? Oscar and whatnot. And then you've also Lighthouse Family.
Yeah.
That was such an amazing gig.
That was honestly one of my favourite experiences with those guys, because they were just such a massive band back in the day. Granted, 25 years ago, I think
the
that
youth. If any youth are listening, they might.
Any 90s kids would know them. But the tours that we did were just
fabulous.
Just fabulous. Yeah, amazing. Great guys. Great music, and so much love out there for them. Who else?
Done a bit with James Arthur, didn't you, back in the day? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Did a couple of bits with him. Actually, I was with James for about, on and off, like 18 months.
Really?
Surprising, yeah. I was looking back at
Do you remember your
photos.
first gig for James?
I do, actually. I was doing a show in North Wales, and one of... I think it might have been Luke or Dan. Anyway, somebody phoned me and asked me if I could make it, and I could make it. It was like a week away, so they sent me the tracks.
This is like
this was
a nightmare.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. So
When you wake up in the night with the sweats.
just say yes, because you always figured it out. Just say yes. So I just said yes.
Good advice.
I just kind of learned it on headphones. Didn't even have a chance to play through it or anything. Learned it. I had to finish a show. I managed to get a dep on the show that I was on, finish a show, drive through the night, fly to Switzerland. I can't remember where we were. Was it
Baz? Was it Basil?
Yeah. Sessions, but I can't even
remember. That's on YouTube. But
that's on
show
YouTube.
Notes,
Yeah. But of course, I rock up. Anyway, there was a lot of pressure because I hadn't even seen the playback rig. I hadn't seen, I didn't even know what the counts did.
You're talking so dramatic.
Yeah, I know.
Now.
Sorry. There was there was a lot of like intricacies that I, didn't know about. And it was being filmed. There was obviously like a big rig because it's James Arthur. I had cameras all around me, and I was pressing play on the playback rig, and honestly I knew how the songs went, but
then you don't really know the titles properly.
I didn't know the titles properly.
It's this one. Which one's that?
I was literally playing them for the first time,
and you absolutely rocked it, love.
I got through it, using every last.
But again, this is interesting for our clients, because that's the sort of pressure that you've experienced, throughout your career.
Yeah.
So when it comes to our lovely shiny gigs that we do week in, week out, and we've got it down to a fine art, and we've got it all sewn up.
I like how you brought this round to this. That's good.
Yeah,
Slick, Sue, slick.
That's what I did. Well, we can't keep rambling. We have to have some purpose to this, don't we? So that experience is what I'm trying to say is invaluable, and it only comes from being really old.
Thank you.
and really frigging good. So does that count as a swear?
You're talking about me there or you?
You.
Right. About the old bit.
Yeah, the old bit especially. Yeah. I'm catching you up though, boy.
Yeah, not far behind.
I wonder if anyone can understand your Welsh.
I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, email in.
Yeah, let us know, guys.
Let us know, guys.
Do you need a translator?
Yeah. Do we need... we should have got our own podcast email address, shouldn't we? I think that's what...
Can't we just have our normal email address?
I suppose.
What's the difference?
I mean, we don't want to inundate our inbox with all...
True,
with the fans.
But we'll
that's the only worry.
The fans... Yeah, guys. But actually, no, that is a good point. If anyone has got any... If we're going to carry this on...
Yeah, loads of things.
We might listen to this back and go, that's
I mean,
horrendous.
I think one of the first things people can decide is the name. They can help us with the name.
Well, can't it just be the Aston podcast, or is that just really boring?
Aston Casting.
But
I mean, come
Aston
on, mate.
Casting. I can't say
good.
casting.
It's still quite good.
Aston
Still quite good like that.
Even if I say Aston Casting. No, it's weird.
No, even if you say it the posh way.
Aston Casting. No, it doesn't match. Anyway, okay, so named help. Any questions?
Yeah.
If it's our clients listening, you can ask us anything. If there's any topics that you want covering or whatnot, then email in to info@astonband.co.uk, straight to camera. See what I did there? I forgot about that, actually. Oh, my God.
I do hope I pressed record. I do hope I pressed record. Some good stuff for you, Suze.
Oh, gold. Podcast gold. Yeah. So, should we wrap it up? Because I feel like
I think that's a good start. I think for a pilot, we've done well there, love. Oh,
and there's the timer. That's it.
Which is our intro when we play live.
Should we...
Welcome
to Aston Caston. All right, I'm going to leave it.
Go on.
Turn it off even. There we go. Okay, she's back.
Okay, wrap it up then, Suze.
We'll wrap it up. So any questions, help us with the name. Let us know if you liked it. It's info@astonband.co.uk. And if you don't already, follow us on Instagram, aston.band. And we hope to catch you next time.
Very soon.